got a little back.
Yeah, he's stepping into the interview, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, I was yeah, I lost track of time actually because I was doing homework with hand. So you know how those things are.
Yeah, what were you doing homework wise? What were you getting up to?
Yeah, just homework with him, getting some
Uh,
like getting the name of stuff going on. I started like getting alphabetized. So it's a journey for sure, especially this first couple of years of school.
no, it's cool, man. It seems like such a cool moment in, their life and your, journey as a father and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd love to see that, man. I mean, that's the most important, right?
Yeah, it's for sure. We gotta keep our heads calm for the journey, but it's definitely good moments.
No, and you very much embodied that idea. And yeah, the next chapter in this story going to be a cool one to see. UAE Warriors 69, March 28th. And seems like you got the exact kind of opportunity you would have been looking for. Like it seemed like you were really eyeing that light heavyweight championship. So yeah, it seems like some cool things fell into place here for you.
100%. We were actually the idea after my last fight was going to sit and wait a little bit, see if we could get the UFC call. After all, I believe I did enough to earn a shot back in the UFC. But like honestly, there's no way I can deny opportunity to go for another bout. Especially your war is such a prestigious organization in the original scene, and very happy with what the promotion been giving me so far. This like light heavyweight post UFC run, and after that, probably going back to the UFC to the big show.
Yeah, it really seems like you've I mean, I say reinvented yourself in the sense of going from heavyweight to light heavyweight, but you've had, multiple wins in this weight category now. So yeah, it really seems like there's quite the fresh coat of paint as you're, embarking on this light heavyweight journey and stuff like that. I mean, 5 fights with 5 first round TKO wins consecutively. I mean, that paints a certain picture.
That's for sure. Like, I believe that was the best decision I did for my career. To move to light heavyweight, I feel stronger. I moved better. I kept the same kind of power I used to have as a heavyweight, but like moving better cardio. I got the energy to actually keep going for the full 3, 5 rounds if I need to be. Beside that, it's a great spot to be. I think being able to take a shot from a light heavyweight fighter, it's kind of a little bit better than a big 265 kind of pound guy. So uh, that's not a bad thing either. But I think what's a great decision for me overall. I think I found my game, I found my division, and I'm ready to go back to the UFC with this new energy and kick some ass over there.
Yeah, and I mean, even I guess getting into the specifics of the quality of wins too is worth noting because with that goal to get back to the UFC, I mean, certainly it would be helpful to be beating former UFC veterans as we saw in your last fight with Tom Breese, and like I said, an opening round finish. So, can you talk about just the big takeaways from that UAE Warriors 67 card and everything?
Yeah, like the idea of getting Tom Breese, that was a great shot for me, great opponent, and couldn't finish in a better way. Like he's BJJ guy, let's per se, and I was able to take him down, and like he was able to take me down, but I was able to reverse and get the finish right away with ground and pound and show that my game's not just standing. I can work around, I can work from bad positions, and like the result came. So I think it's been all part of this journey that I'm on, and like with the fights I got here in Brazil, with the fights at UAE Warriors, I'm ready to the next step of my career. That's my way back to UFC. And as I said, can't wait to go back to OAN right now and get one more fight in UAE Warriors, crown this journey for sure. That'll be amazing.
Yeah, and I see you with like some of the social media messaging and stuff like that, and it's good to kind of put that messaging out there? Like, has there been any discourse behind the scenes with any of the UFC matchmakers as of yet? I mean, like you said, you're on big stages like UAE Warriors, so you would think there would be a certain level of awareness to what you're doing. Has there been any conversations with the UFC matchmakers as of late at all?
Last conversation straightforward we had with them was just end of last year during the UFC Rio fight week. Just went off when Walker got injured. No, Walker. Usman got suspended when he was going to fight Walker. They needed a heavyweight. It was like Thursday of fight week. We put ourselves up there to go as a heavyweight and going down, but they said they wanted a heavyweight that would stay in the division. They were not looking to for 205, but that's last time we had like direct conversations. Beside that, it was just like keep going, good work, you're the top of the list. So it's those things like the UFC. It's all about like right now. It's all about getting the opportunity, the right timing. You need some fight fall out with at the right time, with the right place, where I can get a visa. So there's a lot of moving pieces going on. I'm just gonna be ready anyways, and whenever my shot comes, I'll be ready for it for sure.
Yeah, I guess it just comes down to focusing on what's within your immediate control, and that's securing these fights in UAE Warriors, and you've been doing great things and collecting championship hardware in Brazil. So yeah, I mean you're focusing on what you can focus on. It seems like.
Yeah, that's the idea. Like right now, what I can do is keep on fighting. I can get in the fights here in Brazil, in the awards. Still have to all play for the regional scene, so I can't really complain. And the UFC will come whenever it comes. The regional plan was going to wait, but like I was talking to my team and we were saying like we can wait like 2 months for the UFC, but also we can wait 10 months. So it's not a sure thing. Let's just get this fight, work hard to be there and being able to compete, get another belt. And if I'm already on the top of the list, I'm gonna be even higher in that list or even show them a little bit more that I'm ready to go back there.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's all about that next kind of task and everything like that. And as I mentioned, a big one with it being a championship showcase and all, and your opponent definitely with quite the, shiny pro MMA record, like in terms of what they bring to the table, in terms of, I guess, some of their better skills and just your thoughts on what they've done in MMA so far. Like, I guess, what's your assessment of your opponent coming up here?
And younger guy, he's gonna be hungry, like 5-0. Everything's new, everything's shine, but like it's a young guy, it's a young guy's game for sure. But I think as heavier guys, heavyweight, light heavyweight, we've developed a little bit later in our careers. I think right now I'm just hitting my prime. So with that being said, like with me on my physical prime plus all the experience that I have, I think that's gonna be the biggest thing of this fight. I think like even your 5-0, like 5-0 and all, like he never fought someone like me. He doesn't have the strength of competition that I have, the 5 rounders, the UFC decision. So I've been through everything this sport can throw at me, and I'm ready for this new challenge for sure. I don't know. I can say the same about my opponent.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like that's a very accurate assessment. Like you are an individual who has the experience advantage here, and I guess your opponent is younger, but you seem like you're in a good pocket of like being at like an age where it's more of that fight IQ maturation piece and confident or in confluence rather with the experience. So yeah, it would more seem like you're just in a more composed, mature kind of part of your career. And I guess that kind of ties into, maybe where you're at right now in terms of being like, a family man. We were talking about you being a dad earlier. So maybe it kind of all coalesces together. Like it seems like there's that maturation, composure piece that I would think would help you in fighting as well.
That's for sure. Like overall, I think I'm more mature as a man. I'm more mature as a fighter, and my body is physically more mature. Think physically, I'm in my peak performance right now. I've been putting more work on the strength and conditioning. It's been a lot of pieces that like right now that I see myself as a more complete athlete with the not just experience in cage, but everything that comes with and the development of my body, my game had through the years. I think right now I'm reaching the level of wanting to be as a fighter. As when I was 26, which the opponent's age, I was just young and hungry. I had a lot to learn. I had a lot of battles and places to be, and I think after that he's gonna get the experience. But I'd be in that position. I was a younger guy, 3-1 back in the day. Was facing I think Dustin Joyson for my first title fight, and I lost through the experience. So in this case, it should be my point is the experience still counts a lot. I'm physically stronger than I ever been, and I'm gonna be ready for him. I don't know. I can tell the same about him.
No, for sure. And this is a bit of a random question that kind of diverges from what we've been talking about a little bit. But I mean, this was, I guess, circa January of last year. You had a post talking about, I guess, being involved in that overall like global fight league drafting conversation. And I've seen in recent times they're putting out certain feelers for maybe mapping out some, I want to call it a return effort, but they never had like the first shows and etc. Like, did you see any of this new GFL stuff? And if so, like, what are your thoughts on them trying to create new buzz around their project and all?
Yeah, I have zero buzz about anything that they're doing right now. We got a little bit excited at the beginning. It's like it's always exciting when some new players comes to the game, especially right now with the UFC being so dominant. If they having all their options for the fighters, it's always good. But from the get-go, from the start of the draft and then how everything play out was like kind of feeling popped up and the fake videos and everything from even before all that, oh, they're gonna fight, they're not gonna fight. I already knew like should have went south, let's say. And I wouldn't say they would go past the first season. Now I don't think they can put a one together. So even if they call again, I'm not interested in be part of a thing that I'm sure not gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, fair enough. I guess that's kind of the scenario with it all. Like, it's cool to see these different outlets try to get something going. But yeah, I mean, fight promotion definitely a difficult game to figure out for many. Like, what are your thoughts on, I guess, what they're doing with that Netflix card? I mean, that seems like a topical piece that kind of fits within what we're talking about, like that Rousey versus Carano fight, and then Francis Ngannou being involved. Like, what are your thoughts on, I guess, MVP getting involved with MMA and putting it on Netflix?
That's something I see interesting. As I said, I'm always on in favor of players coming into the game and to be sure they can put boxing together and they know how to market themselves. They have Jake Paul that's been doing well as promoting himself, promoting what MVP, what he's trying to do. And that sounds an interesting fight, like Jake Corona and Ronda. I think it's a little bit too late, but like it's a great way to create buzz with a new promotion, with a new some new things going on. Can I help you, buddy? Can you give me a second there? Okay. But and Francis, but like I I just got surprised with the Francis opponent. Like I wasn't expecting the flip links. I honestly I don't know who else he could be fighting right now. I don't think there's any big heavyweight name on the market right now. But again, that's a wet better talking about GFL right now again a little bit. That's a little better way to start something. Like they already got something going on. They put two marquee fights. They're gonna promote the top two fights, and they're gonna end up filling the rest of the card with lesser known names. And financially, that's gonna be more sound than you put like a bunch of 45-year-olds older that are asking for way too much money. And like if you see like how GFL were putting their cards together, they would be more expensive than the UFC card. Like that would make no financial sense. At least what MVP is doing, like it's reasonable. Like I don't agree with the Francis fight. I don't think that's the best matchup for Francis, and he did well with his boxing career, but I don't know how he for MMA what's next for him. I don't think an MVP has anywhere else besides the UFC will have the strength of opposition for him. But beside that, it's a sound card. Like, sound, it's gonna be a fun day of fights.
Yeah, it just seems like an interesting time to be involved in the world of combat sports. And I know we've talked about it in like a cursory way before, but it was just cool that you were involved in like the smashing machine with The Rock. Like, I guess just to serve as like another point of it feels like MMA really has that like pop culture kind of presence. And I mean, it has on and off over the years, like there's certain peaks and valleys and etc. But yeah, potentially, settling into a nice era. And yeah, just an interesting landscape. And I imagine you would find that exciting as a fighter.
Oh yeah, like I think especially in the UFC right now and in the overall, like we've been reaching some. It's been solid for MMA. I think like it's reaching bigger names right now. Going to new like prominent deal. I think that's going to be good for like exposing the brand, exposing the sport. I think not, MMA is not the novelty. It's something more solid. Uh, and with that going on, and I think more opportunities for the fighters, if we can get, as I said, MVP, PFL, and I hope GFL works. I don't believe, but like if we could get more promotions, more things going on, it's just better for the fighters. But right now, the sport's in a position that's solid. Like we stay pro MMA. It's been like about what a little bit over 30 years with the journey now. It's a sport that people will know where to watch, know how to do, now understand a little bit more. So it's good. It's an interesting time to be a fighter for sure.
No, for sure. And it's cool that waved the dual flags of Brazil and Canada. And I saw you had a social media message a bit ago, kind of putting out your shot for that UFC Winnipeg card in April. I mean, maybe too close of proximity to this one for sure, just because like a few weeks out and whatnot, but still cool that you're kind of putting those feelers out there and wanting to show out on Canadian soil and whatnot. So yeah, always love to see those pieces too.
Oh yeah, like I would love to be there, even if it would be the day after. I would fly from the UAE to Canada to fly there. That would be an option. Uh, my last year, I had the honor to be the main card on the UFC fight in Canada on the Edmonton card. That was amazing. The energy that was great. Like I'm so proud to be a Brazilian Canadian. The only thing with my run, like I had the discussion with the UFC because for that fight specifically, I asked to wear the Canadian shorts, the Canadian uniform, and there was some excellent conversation and it ended up working out for me. But that was what I'm looking for. So I really hope going back to the UFC, going back to the even if the fight's not in Canada, I wanted the opportunity to wrap those shorts, to wrap the red shorts, the red logo on the jacket. That would be amazing.
No, for sure. And I guess one of the last things I kind of wanted to touch on here, because we were referencing your opponent, Magomed Tuchalov. And I mean, his pro record, speaks to all finishes inside the distance, but it's similar to your run of very quick finishes, and yours are even quicker. I feel like this is kind of a fight that's made to, not go the distance. Are we seeing the first loss on Tuchalov's record being another first round finish for you? Is that kind of how you're looking at this next one?
That I'm always go for the first round KOs. If I'm always going for the finish. Uh, I like to say I'm not paid by the hour, so sooner you can get out of there, get my gear on, that's great. I like to be the cage, but not that long. So I hope for a good day. I think he's a good opponent. He's gonna be hungry. He's gonna be strong. But I think in the end of the day, I have all the experience, all the strength, and all the skills to finish this game early in the fight for sure.
No, well said, man. And it's been great getting to talk to you and whatnot. And appreciate you putting on the fighter hat today, but I'll let you put on the dad hat and kind of, get to that piece and whatnot. Just figured I'd give you the floor if you had a final parting thought you wanted to add as we're wrapping up here, Kaio.
Just want to say thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure to chat a little bit with you before those fights. And again, thank you again. Shout out to Canada and visiting there. Don't miss the cold very much, but can't wait to be back to the UFC represent the Maple Leaf flag for sure.
Muito frio.
Always thick, always. Vancouver's not as cold, but
Yeah.
overall, comparing to Brazil, it's like 30 something right now. So it is a journey. It's different for sure.
No, for sure. And to the point of journeys, it's been cool to follow your journey in combat sports. And yeah, the next chapter in that story unfurling on March 28th. And yeah, thanks so much for talking ahead of this title fight at UAE Warriors 69. All the best with the remainder of the preparations leading into it. But until then, just enjoy the rest of your day as well, Kaio.
Thank you, too. My pleasure.